out, and you can also move into the march and just activate your Carapace as Nyx Assassin. You can catch out the Tinker. But Imaginary Gaming already showing these two heroes. Of course, OD is pretty standard, I would say now, because of his strong laning, but going OD Tinker as your first two, this is definitely them going for something. And we see the push ban-outs from Mouse. They're banning out they already started banning out the Chen before they even saw this, but then now have to ban out the Treant Protector, who did go through the first 4 picks.
He did, but people also started moving away from the Treant Protector.
After his little touch.
Yeah, it was only a little bit of change, like only 4 instances on that living armor at the very, very start.
Yep.
It doesn't seem like much, but it really changes around the way the lanes work, and it forces you to run a Treant Protector straight away pulling, always getting farm.
Yes.
He must get up to that level 3 or 5 as
he wants
as
to hit
early as
levels.
possible.
He wants to hit levels for sure, because the old way you had it with the many instances on your block, it was really effective already on low levels, but now he needs to pull and get a lot out of it. So Naga Siren gonna be the ban out here. They don't want to be caught in that Song of the Siren and then mass spam on the marches, because that is a deadly combo.
You don't be worried too much about that team fight, and if they were gonna they ban out the Naga, if they didn't ban that, even if it's a support Naga, that will also work. Some teams been playing around with that one. And then you follow up with the Darkseer, who still hasn't been touched just yet here in the game, but you ban out the Chen, they take the Enchantress, so maybe we are going to look at least some early game pushing some out of towers.
This is early game all over by IMG so far. Of course they have, as you said, the Turtle, they have a decent late game with Tinker just being able to get it there, and he does scale so well with items, but I can only think that they want to take all the 6 towers as soon as possible here when I see these 3 heroes.
It's a dangerous thing to try and do though with the Tinker. Like Tinker can give you cover fire early on, but his mana pool is not amazing until he gets those BTs up. And you're still looking at like if you have a completely sacrificed lane on that bottom, you're still looking like 8 to 10 minutes before you're going to feel comfortable and have enough.
Look at the lineup of Mouse as well. They know that the enemy team wants to push. What do they have? They have the best catchers in the world. They have Batrider, they have Nyx, they have Beastmaster. If you ever TP somewhere with Tinker and you don't have protection, like if you don't have your team behind you, you're dead. You're really dead. You need Blink Dagger, and even then the Hawk can find you and you get shut down. So Mouse, all their heroes counter Nyx really hardcore, and we see at Timbersaw. That is a big sneaky pickup, I would say.
That's a way to mix things up a little bit there, man.
It is a super strong hero in some regards. He's just very, very, how to say it? He's unorthodox.
I was going to go with situational. He's very situational.
I don't even think this hero qualifies as situational, but I think he has his moments where he can be really useful. We'll see if this game can be one of those. He has so much pure damage that he can dish out to the enemy team in very fast succession, so that is what he can provide. And the only thing I lack right now in the IMG lineup is they don't have any single stun right now.
I hate you, Black.
And there's Black's hero, so he's gonna be the Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage is super good Timbersaw in so many ways. If Timbersaw goes offlane, which is where Timbersaw wants to be, really, it's you have no other choice. And Timbersaw along with Ench, pretty strong. But against an Anti-Mage who has his feedback, he breaks your mana and you are pretty damn sad as a Timbersaw. It can really be so annoying. So I think this offlane for Timbersaw, if he has the support with Ench, he can maybe pull it off to a decent level in the early game, but it's gonna be hard if he's just left solo there. I think he's gonna find himself very much struggling to get any experience.
Even if it is a dual lane up there, or even if it's in a full aggressive trial lane, like Tinker on bot, OD mid, and a full aggressive trial lane up on top, like mousesports, the Keeper of the Light gets banned out against them, so at least they can't bring in this big controller for the top lane, because mousesports don't have that yet. They have a Nyx Assassin. It's a decent stun, but they need a really strong supporter that can make sure that the Anti-Mage has a lot more space. Like Beastmaster can take his solo mid, Batrider can take his long lane, or vice versa in that for that one. And they just need another support up there. It kind of look like Fader is rather happy. Like he's
happy.
Yeah, it's like we'll go with this one, and then all of a sudden it's like Venomancer. Maybe that's what they were happy with. Would have been a very good laning hero for it.
So the stuns from IMG is basically OD's put down, which is not a stun really. And if Enchantress finds a creep, that's what they're down to.
Is control, lockdown, and taking out towers very early on. That's all you're looking for from this lineup.
It is indeed. So taking all the 6 towers as we pretty much expected from the the first 3 picks, already by the first 2 picks, it is about controlling the map. But I'm really scared for IMG in this game because Batrider, Nyx, and Beastmaster, that's scary for any player to play against. You can be caught out so many times, and we know that as soon as the laning phase is over, Mouse are gonna try and play a 4 versus 5 game where they just try and find and kill all the time while Black is farming up on his anti-mage.
Yeah.
That is definitely a playstyle they're going for.
But the question is still going to be, like, what's the last support hero that's going to synergize with their lineup? Because, like, I thought Vader was actually quite happy about it, but now there's another conversation going on between Black Synderen as well as Vader for this last election.
I like it. They should use all their time here because they have the last pick. There's nothing more to really think about what's, you know, you don't want to pressure the enemy.
I think now they realize, as you said, like Imaginary Gaming have no stuns, which means they'll be doing a lot of damage over time, which is exactly what Visage loves.
Makes it so easy to play anti-mage in this game as well when there's no stun on the enemy team apart from an OD put down. An OD put down only lets anti-mage blink away afterwards. It's really not a safe stun. So it's gonna be very interesting and very, very gank heavy this game. It's
nice for fun Dota, man.
I really like the Visage pickup though. It's going to be absolutely crucial that they hold these towers. If they give away 6 towers to IMG, they could be looking at a really hard game here. But if they can hold it, and that's when you want Visage for a good fighter. Not only the D-push, they have some nice D-push with the axes, with the Batrider's flame break, but to be able to fight it as well, not only send out a few spells.
Well, let's get ourselves into it as we have launched ourselves now into the game. And we'll look over towards 2 teams. mousesports versus Imaginary Gaming is our first game with the RaidCall EMS 1. And we start off with the quarterfinal action. And it is going to be mousesports starting off over on the Dire side. Black leading the way out. The anti-mage Synderen will be behind him as that Nyx assassin. That leads Quarterfinal. Coming up as that Batrider. Just behind him right now, so it looks like maybe a bit of an abandonment of that bottom lane and just getting that bot build into the jungle. That puts Fader as the Beastmaster in the solo mid, and then Pass to take up the rear as the Visage will cap up our mousesports lineup.
Yeah, exactly. And on IMG, we see Sky going on the Timbersaw off lane, and we have mid Bounce playing the OD. We see Enchantress being played by Vlad, and he's gonna go for the safe lane or safe jungle to start off, but he might be heading up to the top lane to disrupt the anti-mage. We will see. Sev Dota is gonna be playing the Tinker, and on support Venom as we have Spider Dota.
Looks like we just got ourselves a quick pause right now again, as looks like mousesports having some more issues.
Yeah, same for me actually. This sinking.
Yeah, you keep having your key send you downwards.
Yeah, I can't. It's fixed now.
That's never a great thing, man.
No. Basically, Dota wanted to watch the bottom lane very badly.
Well, remember back in the days, when Dota 2 was in beta, which we could now actually say.
So long ago, Toby.
Yes.
Those were the days.
It seems like only yesterday. Or last week in this case. We had the ability, yes, you couldn't move your camera at all. The only way that you could reposition your camera as a spectator was to actually use the mini-map. That was amazing. The only way to do it. So there you go, a little bit of alpha bug history of what went horribly, horribly wrong.
So, meanwhile, in the game, we have top room being checked by the entire of Mouse. So IMG, they know that it's a flame, but they pretty much knew that from the start as well when they see the anti-mage. And I can say that they knew this because Venomancer, he's running without sentries. He only bought some normal wards, put down an aggressive lane ward so that he can see Batrider and a rune ward. Enchantress as well. Starting off with our Ring of Basilius, just wants to jungle up.
Yep.
Meanwhile, on this mid map, I see a little setup here just to harass or control the first wave maybe, but he's actually seems to be heading back top.
Fader controlled it perfectly anyway. Like, he got the good block off, and this now is going to be bans. I'm surprised he didn't actually bring an Observer Ward into this middle lane so he can only see up like on the high ground of the mid. Obviously, he's still going to take away a lot of Fader's mana, so these axes are going to fly like maybe once, and then it's going to be all over for him.
Yeah, top. We see him going behind Timbersaw here a little bit, but very hard to kill this hero from the start. Synderen just focusing on doing his pull. He's not going to stack, just doing a normal pull. Same for the Radiant side.
Well, they might make the most of the opportunity. Like, you know Enchantress is going to be pushing your tower at some point. So maybe already start off, like, if you get a little bit of momentum behind the creep wave, that's okay. Then you can attack on the heroes, and then you can follow up and do some damage towards that first tier 1 tower. So you've got options. You've got other options for yourself.
Also, it's a wolf spawn, so killing off these alpha wolves, it actually kills off an entire normal creep wave unless you auto-attack it a lot. And Synderen is more looking to deny his creeps than farm up. Batrider, meanwhile, just farming up jungle. He's killing the small camp for a second time here. And he did stack the big camp, so he's gonna hit that level 2, and then he can kill off big camps.
More interested to see what happens when he's level 6, and also more interested to see what mousesports can do about this bottom lane. We've got Enchantress with a Hellbear as well as a Wild Wing, and then you've got the Venomancer with
they have +5 armor already because they have Basilius and the Wild Wing. So this is a very strong push. It's not super many creeps, but +5 armor makes a huge difference when going on tower.
You actually wonder if mousesports is capable of defending it. Like Synderen comes in instantly galed. At least he's got a good stun off, so he's keeping that Hellbear back. But with the rockets as well as now Martial Machines, he will die right now. First blood can be spilled by Imaginary Gaming. Seb to take a lot of damage for this one. But that is going to be first blood.
To the Venomancer who buys up boots instantly, so he's very happy to pull right now. Did not have to buy sentries, and now with the first blood. And tower seems to be holding. Synderen running down again here. But it's gonna go down slowly. Enchantress can pull this wave.
He's not a hero that can defend this. Like, he can't take the aggro from the creep wave. It's not like Rubik will throw out a Fey Bolt and then the creep aggro will follow you. Like, he has to come down like this, and then, well, Enchant already been done, so...
There's no Gale, so there's nothing really to be afraid of for Synderen. And he's gonna be aggressive a little bit on the Enchantress, but this tower is gonna go down for sure.
Yeah.
And there's no way melee hero like Nyx can go down and deny that. Last hit to Tinker.
Should be a tier 2 tower as well if they can build up that Enchantress army again, but it means to come back in like...
They need to go out and recap that army again. And meanwhile, top lane, we see push again coming in from House this time. So they have a double creep wave. They might want to do the same thing here on top, but Timbersaw is going to be very happy about that.
One thing which we still haven't been looking at all really is just Batrider. Like, we're 3 minutes in, he's sitting at 800 gold.
Yep.
He's slowly working his way towards that very, very fast Blink Dagger, and then he can start initiating across the map. Black's already been free farming up here on the top lane up against, what is it, like a 0 for 0. This guy's got like not a single last hit up here.
He's been kept away, and they have very aggressive ward there, showing him on the lane very early. But now, coming close to the tower, he does manage to grab one last hit, but with that mana burn hitting him, even a level 1 mana burn, it's really hard for a Timbersaw to stay close.
Yeah. Black does have the option if he wants to. Actually, no, he doesn't.
Bottom lane, we're gonna see if Synderen feels this coming. They don't have mana on the Venomancer, so it's quite hard for them to kill him. But they have an ensnare.
Maybe it will be enough.
Oh,
no, Synderen moves back fast enough.
That's big. He doesn't want to die there. If he died, the tower would be in danger. But now he's there to defend it still.
It's also a very smart time to move back after you throw your stun. He had no mana for Spike Carapace. He was short of it all.
Yeah, and interesting to see this offlane Timbersaw. He can go for so many different skill builds on this hero. He goes for 2 in the reactive armor, so he has that massive armor when he starts getting harassed. And gonna just try and stay alive. Leveling up the Timber Chain can be really good as well though, giving it longer range, faster speed and more damage for a little bit in mana cost of course. How is mid lane doing actually?
Not that well for a Beastmaster. Fantastic for an OD. 24 for 15 up against a 10 for 3.
Yeah,
but that's to be very much expected when you got a hero who has to rely on having a mana pool to throw access to actually get farm.
It is expected, but 10 for 3 I would say that OD is really happy with his result here. Like, he's keeping Fade up pretty low. He has a haste rune though, and if he hits level 6 before he pops that haste rune, he can crush the bottom lane. And bottom is a lot of trades here against the tower.
Yeah, but Koifus now come towards the bottom lane, so with this defense at this bottom, there's not going to be any kind of push. Like, he can Firefly up on top of the tower, that's going to take care of most of the creep wave, dragging it back, and then this push basically grinds to a halt. And then you got a Tinker who's like, well, I still want to get my BTs up and running, which means I want to have the tower down, I want to have this bonus gold for it. Venomancer, who's dedicated himself into putting...
He Fireflied early. The fire is gone now, so this was very early Firefly, and that's going to cost him now, because this tower is dead. If he did that much later, then he would have held this tower. And now another last hit to the support. Look at that gold on Enchantress. She could even be running a Midas if she wanted to. Or just go for really hardcore early pressure items. But Sometimes we see Enchantress go for Midas just to get early level 6 and early level 11 even, just hit that ulti so much stronger, and attack speed of course being pretty nice for it. She goes for mana boots, so I'm looking that she and Venomancer should rotate. It was only 5.5 minutes to take 2 towers on bottom.
Yep.
And soon the rotation will come. Black is not done farming.
No. Black is in fact already preparing himself now with the strength trap. Plus the poor man shield.
He knows it's coming.
Yeah, he's not expecting to have time to get that full Battle Fury up and running. If they give him that time, then that's not a problem as well. Like, he just goes into the jungle with the treads already and doesn't just start off with that, like the raw Battle Fury where you gotta be careful with your life points.
You should expect Syndran, he has a TP, he should probably be moving up top soon, but he wants to hit that level 6 as well. If he can get level 6 before the rotation comes up top, because the rotation is almost up top most of the times. They could be going for mid tower, and Enchantress is near mid, so it might be the choice. But wherever they go, Syndran is going to be ready to come there, and he is very close to hitting that level up.
Well, once he reaches it, man, then he can start making plays. Until that point, though, like, you're still waiting. Like Fader, he might have his level 6, but even then he realizes there's no point in skilling it. He's got level 6, but never even skilled up raw. There's just no point to it.
He doesn't have a chance to use it now anyway, so he's just waiting. It's kind of interesting, though, to see him go for this, because it's really, he knows that he can't go gang with his 100 mana pool, his 100 max mana. He preferred just staying on the lane, get that bird up so he can actually watch the runes a little bit, now that the wards are down. And we see the movement is close to mid. If he gets a put down, they're actually gonna go for a straight push here. So they've shown their intentions to push the mid lane.
Yeah, and it's perfectly fine by Imaginary Gaming. In fact, I'm surprised not being a little bit more forceful about this. I guess taking some time to get in here, like we're now hitting 7 minutes and 30 seconds into the game when they got such a heavy push early on, and they've only got a small window of opportunity before Blink Dagger's up, before Beastmaster will at least have some kind of good mana regen to stop that roar, before Black gets his Battle Fury up and running, before Visage has level 6. They got all these different things that just start piling up on top of each other.
On top, a bad thing happened for the Mouse. They pushed the tower and actually Sky managed to pull it back behind the tier 1, so all these creeps not doing any damage to the tier 1, and it's still pretty high HP even with Black going up and DPSing it now. But right now the levels are pretty different for the teams. On the Dire side we see Syndran now level 6 on that supporter, meanwhile on Imaginary Gaming both the supports still level 4. And Visage is also closing up on level 6, that could be scary, man.
And once he reaches it, bring in the stuns, bring in the nukes. Bring in Imaginary Gaming really being stalled up. They just can't take this tower straight away. They've got to, even if it means they're going to bring in a 4th hero to this middle lane. Yeah, they've got to get that tower down. Tinker's got to be there, but he's like 170 gold away.
And even with Koikwa moving so much to stop the push, he actually is very close to his Blink Dagger now, jungling it up really hardcore and trying to stack both the camps now. I believe he will get it. Yeah, stack both the easy and the hard camp, and we'll farm that up.
Some good money coming his way, and that will be the blink.
Oh, he's looking for mid because he knows they are going. If they can get a Beastmaster ulti here, they could be a fair fight of the game.
That means that Fader, well, there's a flame break pushing him back, then your Raw go on bans, and then they're going to hold him in too. Lasso him, pull him back and reach that tier 1 tower. Then the follow-up done from Syndran. The Astral Imprisonment trying to save the life here of the OD for just a little bit longer. Still going to be a double kill for Pass. Very simple movement, easy gank up, and they're going to take a 3rd one here too. Sky's on the run out of here. Of course, very difficult to completely lock down a Timbersaw, but it seems to be done nonetheless. So triple kill for Pass.
Triple kill, that is so huge. And they did lose the chance to initiate at first, but then the Batrider with his flame break, he just shot it, and then comes the Rex ulti. So beautiful combination there. And we just saw how weak the Enchantress was. She wasn't even targeted, and she just melted very fast. Yeah, even though OD was the retarget, they managed to kill the Enchantress in no time at all. So that is the weakness of this hero. It is super soft.
Especially if you had anything like semi nuke damage. Like,
yep.
The strength of the hero is the heal over time.
Yep. Yeah. And now we are just going back to a farm game for Mouse a little bit more, and they would even be happy to just sack this tower by now, I think, because they held it for so long. And it's a tier 1. You don't want to lose a fight for the tier 1. They are looking to maybe fight there, but they should be really careful.
Yeah, losing anything else right now, especially with the beating Tinker. Vendetta, stun 3 from Synderen, and then Vader, he's got the Roar over the side. That's on the Venom Man to actually hold him out of position. And Synderen, too much damage actually being taken. OD over on the side of your screen right now. Sai wants to Timbersaw himself away. So there's a 1-for-1 trade at the end of that day.
A 1-for-1, and it was Enchantress along with Nyx going down, so no huge kills really, but this means that they can probably not push on here. There should be, oh, he's very close to his Blink Dagger. He doesn't have it just yet, but 10 more gold for the Batrider and he has it.
And to be so close all the time.
Yeah, but he will hit it pretty shortly, so
he's got it now. So, pick it up.
I like what the Imaginary Gaming are doing though. They're very, very persistent about their push and they know they have to be. If they don't remove all the towers in this game, it's going to be too hard. I'm not sure if I like going for the mid before top, until the top is a little bit easier. Push out perhaps.
It's almost like they want to try and secure Roshan before they secure Black's farm.
It could be. It could be.
Or controlling Black's farm.
And they did see that Black went for power treads first and not a pure rush for the Battle Fury. And he is actually pushing the top tower. It's gonna go down if not on defensive. This is
no trouble in mid. Lasso already managed to pull Seb back, and then with a easy quick soul assumption gets the kill. Spike Carapace will allow Synderen to escape out here. Also popping in Vendetta on Sky, jumps up over the trees, and Fader doesn't really have a lot of life points to play around with, so he just throws the Roar anyway. Comes to the cost of the Visage, and Synderen, gotta be careful.
Wow, he goes in and does the stun, and just backs out.
Lives life on the edge. 16 life points,
oh,
and he gets still
Venom
get a kill.
Taking so much damage from just 2 birds coming in there and harassing him. And I was actually surprised to see that Black did not TP him for this, but he wants his farm. We know how Black plays after all.
Yeah.
And they did hold the tier 2. Slowly but surely their towers are going down, but also all this time for a free farm on Anti-Mage, it can be worth it for Mouse of course. And they're getting the kills.
Black is one of those players that that really enjoy like he loves it when he can rely on his teammates to hold a tower.
Yes.
So he doesn't have to worry about them. So
we did
to sit there farm, and then that's all he has to worry about until his captain turns to him and says, "Black, come kill."
Yeah. We said earlier, Mouse are looking with a lineup like this, when you have a Visage, a Batrider, all these strong fighters, even Nyx, these are super strong fighter heroes. You can fight 4-on-5. They are that strong, so they can really play that 4-on-5 Dota for as long as possible. We now have Perseverance finished up, so very close to that Battle Fury timing on Anti-Mage. We're just start farming the entire jungle at an amazing speed. And we almost have Mech finished up on the Beast as well. That could be so big if they get that one in decent timing, but he won't have it for this push that's coming mid.
Well, let's watch it unfold, man. Let's watch it unfold. Imaginary Gaming, tier 2 towers the focus. Synderen already throwing out the stun, not really hitting correctly there. But with those rockets flying down from Seb, very easy Spike Carapace to go off from Sid to return the damage. And the tier 2 tower remains for now, even if they do have 3 Plague Wards hitting on it.
I want to just call something fast, and that's that Venomous is building towards a Necro book. So that's how much they want to push these guys. There we go.
It's really an all-in. Koifa, Blink Dagger going to go to work. Already trying to get one pull out, but the OD able to get the Astral Imprisonment off, slowing it down, which means Enchantress comes back out again for Synderen. Managed to get himself a pretty good stun off here, but Vlad Tempest is going to run himself away from Synderen. Not enough, far enough.
Triple kill for pass already.
Just over on the side is that Visage, and they're searching for another one. How to get that TP out OD, so he's back to base safely, but it's the only one to survive for Imaginary Gaming.
And they did deny the tower with Synderen going in and denying it. So good initiation there by Batrider going in. He had to die for his team because he was the one to get focused as he blinks in. But I mean, the trade was beautiful for him. So many kills going their way. And Paz, he landed a double stun on the Tinker, on the Enchantress with his birds, and he just stopped that counter initiation come there. So really beautiful by him, and also nuking so much.
Well, troll it out through the top now, Imaginary Gaming. But first you don't succeed, push more towers, tier 1 and tier 2 available up that top lane.
They are persistent, and they have to be. And
well they kind of know too, like they're going to lose their lives with this kind of lineup, but if they take enough map control, they're supposed to be able to lock down Black's farm.
Yeah, the danger is still going to be, even with removing all these towers, the gang possibility that is there for a high-level Nyx and a high-level Batrider with Blink, they could be looking at very hard mid-game, even when you have the tower advantage. But there's no other way for him to play it out than trying to get everything. And there's going to be a fight again. Mech is finished on the Beastmaster this time.
Koifa, he's looking for an opening. Gonna get hit by a rocket, so that puts his Blink Dagger on the cooldown. The Dark Troll wants to keep attacking him after he got off that ensnare, but...
And the bird from... oh, it actually goes down to the March. But the bird from Mouse gave nice vision there, but going down.
Yeah, they knew what was going on.
And they TP down with Tinker to bottom lane. He has Blink Dagger. He's gonna stop this push, but top, they are exposed now.
Yep, now comes the jump. Already getting that last two off on the OT. Can't imprison yourself. We're in that one. Also roaring him up, so there was no other possibility of escape from that one. Sky launches himself across past the towers, but he's still going to go down nonetheless, and then Animage cleans up the rest of the mess.
As soon as Tinker shows on bottom lane, it's a snap reaction. They just go. There's nothing to think about. If Tinker TP's down, there's no way he can TP up right then. So
well, you instantly know it's 5v4.
Exactly, because Black does TP in to join that fight. He will say yes. If it's a 5v4 for us and you've already been winning in 4v5, then this fight should be easy, and that's what happened.
Oh man, even with the Blink Dagger VTs up the Tinker. Like, we know how much a Tinker can completely stall up an entire game, but
he can.
If you've got a player like Black, who has already got his Battle Fury treads 16 minutes in and having another 1700 gold up his sleeve, this is a hero that can easily go high ground, especially when you got that initiation that come from Koifa, where he just jumps inside the base, drags him back out again.
I'm almost looking more to pass this game, man. He's 9-1 and 4. He's been playing good on this Visage. Good use of his birds, and he has point booster already. Has that Medallion of Courage as well, so they deal insane damage when he minus almost the targets and starts right-clicking them.
It's a shame we can't see the reverse milk.
The reverse milk award.
Yeah.
Is it when you have 20 kills and lose? 20-0 and lose?
I don't know about losing. I was going to say 20 for 0.
Oh, and we
you should probably still win. And okay.
Lab Taps being caught out there a little bit, and he was actually walking. There was no word, but I believe the bird was there temporarily. Scouted him out.
Oh, well, but now there.
And another clash is going to come up here on top. Tinker's with them this time. They do need him.
Imaginary Gaming, they're not giving up on this, man. They're not giving up on this. They fight to the bitter end. Cinderin already get that spot. Carapasoff stunning up the Tinker. And support coming in from Pass. Familiar to the front lines first. Have to drop at some point. Cinderin is going to get nuked down by the OD ulti, so just buy back TP to that tier 1 tower so they can here for the fight and make sure that OD does go down here, because Venoman's giving him some help. Make charge will pop, but only just. Now Koifa comes down, wants to finish the job out of Firefly, and then Animage also here want to get one last hit in, but Paz keeps on kill securing everywhere across the map. IMG lose more with Timbersaw going down.
Yeah.
And Enchanter is the only one to survive.
She was actually not even there as she died previously.
Dire's top tower is
but
under
yeah,
attack.
That's another team cleanup from Mouse, and the experience is getting completely out of hand. It's not getting out of hand. It's there already. So it's a really hard spot for IMG. Their only chance at winning this is pushing, and they're trying it now, and it doesn't work, and it doesn't work. What do you do in this scenario? It's really, really hard. They really just have to stick to it.
They've got to keep going with their push.
Top, he does find a kill here, but Teps killing off Ren alone. Very nice little move around, coming in from behind on him.
Something that really shouldn't be that possible, especially when you got Cinder.
Cinder was greedy. He was staying with low HP on the lane, so he was very greedy there, and he should just be able to spike Carapace and TP away at any point, but I believe he was too low HP to even do that.
Well, this is now the time for Imaginary Gaming. Push out through that top lane, take out the tier 2 tower.
Yeah, and OD doesn't have much item progression right now. He only has his mech. It's the same as he had when he started doing all these pushes. I like they switched to power treads. Of course, bottom tower went down to the Anti-Mage here. But power treads much better for fighting than Tranquils. You cannot fight in Tranquils. You lose that movement speed when you get hit, and you get basically nothing. 25 movement speed is nothing.
Yep.
So worse than brown boots.
All right.
Warstaff finished up on Batrider. He's gonna go.
Yep, looking through the tree line. So Firefly on given the flying vision, and he instantly again, OD is the primary target. Sky able to actually bring himself into the fight. Synderen burning up pretty hard here. Magic one charge to keep him alive. That Gale manages to connect, but unfortunately now for the rest of Imaginary Gaming, they've dived in so far. The Pass can throw out these continuous nukes, and then Animage just rotates himself in. Secondary nuke. He's passed another double kill here, and it goes 25-8. And mousesports very much controlling every portion of this game.
They're pretty much killing Synderen in every single fight, but that's all they're getting as well. Synderen is pretty much standing very far out saying, please hit me, don't kill my carry. And that's what happens. If you focus the Nyx who has spike carapace, everyone gets stunned up. It really shuts you down in terms of how the team fight is going. And a big thing I want to talk about in this game is that I think the Necronomicon is different. Is a weird choice by Venomancer. It sort of relies on the early game going very, very well for them, because last fight the Necro did nothing, absolutely nothing, and that's a lot of gold invested in one item that doesn't do anything for you. It's 2.7k gold, could be a mech or something, but that would have freed up the OD Ghost time.
Oh, Black already having fun right now with the Tinker out to pick him off.
Yeah,
while
with
OD is right behind him, and Black very easily able to get out.
With his Manta style, it makes it very easy to just dive and commit.
It's also not too bad when you get the perfect vision coming out from their Beastmaster. That Hawk just sitting back next behind the tier 2 tower until it just passed out just then. But it knew what support was going to come in. He knew his escape way out too. Nice sentry ward time. Synderen got attacked though by that Plague Ward, and then we'll just TP out, but OD will stop that.
With the few stuns, they managed to cancel it.
And Synderen now turns, burns one, stuns the other, but again, I don't want to say that's greedy. That's just a very, very good timing for Imaginary Game for Team Ward.
That's greedy. Going with Beastmaster and Nyx against where you know the entire enemy team is, except for a Tinker who just died. That's greedy beyond any doubt.
So Synderen, stop chasing the monies.
Yeah, stop chasing the money, Synd.
Actually,
you
Synderen, don't stop chasing the monies. Keep chasing the monies. It makes it fun to watch.
Yeah, it works for him.
It's still been like as far as this game goes, it could have really just turned into mousesports trying to evade fights, saying, okay, we'll lose all the outer towers, who gives a crap, we'll farm up a win.
They could definitely
do
that.
They've said, you know what, no, we'll actually contest the towers, we'll come out and we'll fight like men.
Exactly, because they have these 4 heroes that are super strong at fighting, and then they have Antimage who is now very farmed, and of course, by that, he is a strong fighter as well. So they should be looking for these fights.
Support, gonna rotate up quicker again. He's hoping for an opening.
Almost the entire Aghanim's finished up on Visage. So he's very close at 23 minutes in for a supporter. He's very rich.
And he really does have a lot of money, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Even his net worth, like his net worth is higher than that of the Batrider and the Beastmaster.
Yeah, his GPM is higher than OD's. That's quite the support. Of course, not buying too many support items, he leaves that to Synderen.
Oh, come on, you're a 12-for-1 support. Synderen basically gets to be the Ward's... Ward boy?
Yes, that's the word everyone
uses. Ward boy. Yeah.
Ward boy.
Yeah,
yes.
Ward boy.
That's what everyone says.
That'll be slightly appropriate.
So...
Are we going back in again? mousesports actually pinged this a while ago. Like, they pinged this about 3-4 minutes ago when they're thinking about going for Roshan.
Yeah, they just want to secure the lane presence. Like, they pushed out top very far with Antimage, and now they've gone for it. Because you can't really go for Roshan unless you prepare for it a little bit in map control.
Well, they've managed to get it. Because getting map control over someone like a Tinker, doesn't matter if he's like injured or not. If he gets BTs and a Blink Dagger, you can guarantee he'll be causing you troubles. But it goes down. Anti-Mage will take the Aegis to the Immortal, so Black becomes even more invincible.
Yeah, he is very tanky now, having that Manta style already, and then adding Aegis, and he has 5k gold. Like, he's doing the traditional, you know, much Yamate move of saving up more and more golds.
It's just so he can buy like a surprise item. So you look at like
a surprise butterfly or something like that. Yeah. I would say go BKB and just, you know, hammer down the enemy in this game, because
either he says screw it and just goes hard.
He could for sure go for a hot, but just the fact that there's pretty much no damage at all that goes through BKB in this game. There's the March doing its damage, a little bit of it,
and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, March, weird broken ability.
Yeah.
Very, very weird ability.
It is, really. weird ability in
it's
the
one of
way
those
it
ones
works.
where you can't properly classify it.
Yeah, it's, of course, some abilities will be like that, because March, while it is damage magical, it also targets magic immune, so how can that make sense? Anyone would say, but
What did I used to call it? I used to call it something different. Because like you have composite, you got pure, you've got magical, and you got physical.
yes.
And I think we created something else. Global. It was global damage. I think that was the phrase. It was global damage.
Oh, top, that
Vader.
clutch TP out. And of course the game has slowed down a little bit as IMG, they realize they can't really throw away one more team fight. If they do it, they're gonna lose the game at that point. So they're just playing more safe now, trying to get something going here. OD is going for a hex and so is Tinker. So if they get these hexes up, I guess they reckon that they can still kill the Anti-Mage and deal with that. But right now, Aghanims have finished up. Visage flying around with his little fleet here. This mid tower looks to be in trouble, man.
Yep.
BKB is finished up on Black though. He is ready for the fighting.
mousesports will enjoy a very, very simple push. Look at the tier 3 towers on all lanes, but of course the tier 2 tower on the top lane, probably on the list of things to do.
I really have to say that the Anti-Mage, I don't like the Timbersaw against him. It's so hard to play, even in team fights, when you get mana burn. This hero, Timbersaw, he needs all that mana to really be able to jump around.
The arcade bridge very early on, so you've actually got the mana pool to play with.
Of course, and on the lane, as you saw, it was a very long time before we got any form of CS on that lane, while Batrider basically just heads into jungle and says, hey, there's farm here.
Yep.
So that is the power of an offlane like Bat, who has BKB as well now. So we're looking at 2 10-second BKBs for the next fight.
So just jump in, take him out, and just don't give a crap.
And you know what? Why not an Eagle Song as well on Black? Even though he just purchased the BKB, he almost has a full butterfly finished up. 1,800 gold in his stash now.
He's got to find the monies. He's got to find the monies.
He finds the monies, man. Black knows where the money is.
He will be finished farming a hell of a lot earlier than other anti-mages, though.
Yeah.
Like you look at the time and you're like 27 minutes into the game right now, like Anti-Mage is looking very, very fat, very, very good.
And because of the heroes on IMG, he can farm so aggressively now. He can farm near the tier 3 of the enemy team. Because he knows, what are they gonna do to me? They don't have their hexes finished, they don't have any real disable. I can always just manta and blink away. I don't even need to pop the BKB. The BKB is just there for safety. So that's for a team fight. And you see an initiation.
Yep. Jumping in. There goes Bands. Instantly destroyed down that middle. And then they'll look for more. Jumping in deeper. March the Machines. It's not even down for this duck. Now Sports are inside the base, hunting the kills, pushing the Tink all the way back in, even going to Raw and Mana Void him inside his own fountain. The triple kill for Black, in fact.
Yeah, this defense looks very, very sad. Synderen does his role and dies, so...
Thank you, Synderen. Thank you, Synderen.
He, of course, was focused again. I don't know how he does it, but somehow he looks very delicious to the Frenchies.
Black just wants the Aegis Immortal to trigger. He's looking for a Rax. That's all he's looking for right now.
He didn't use his BKB in that, by the way. He just dives Fountain without it, because there's nothing to stop him. So he still has it ready.
BKB was at least used by Kokma during that fight.
It was.
And he'll look to push it again. Like, it's 15 seconds until his last dude's off cooldown. He'd love a kill. Black would love a Rax, but the second he jumps in, instantly imprisoned. Knew that one was going to come. Flame Break, trying to push back that Timbersaw so he couldn't get a good latch, because Timbersaw sucks so badly at fighting inside his own base when there's just no trees. And now Black, with the BKB, takes the Rax in the middle lane. And the rest of them will fall back, but Pasky is slowed down a little bit by the enchant.
He still has all his birds with stun ready, so I don't believe anyone wants to chase that. He's whipping all the stuns. He doesn't care.
Well, he's just looking to get the damage back in the burst, more than likely.
Synderen now realized that, hey, I'm delicious, why not buy a blade mail? It's amazing how they really kill him every fight. I wonder if they have come to that point where they start realizing, like, okay, you know, screw everything, let's kill that guy. That's basically what you do against Na'Vi if you're losing. You just say, okay, Dandy, you're the target.
Well, I'd say it's worth it going for Synderen. Like, he's the one guy that completely screws him up during team fights despite Carapace. But he's the one guy that's got a good chain stun too. Your only other big lockdowns are going to be your Lasso, your Beastmaster Raw, and your Visage stuns. If you take out his easy stuns, the non-ultimate stuns, you're looking pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know, man. They need to stop someone. They need to somehow stop the others as well. They can't just go for a Nyx, because at the end of the day, he's a supporter with, you know, 2 spells that he wants to throw in the team fight, and then he mana burns a few times afterwards. But he wants to possibly get his ulti off in a team fight, not necessarily spiked, and impale, and he's done. And they punish him afterwards. His impale spiked is done, but he is not one who deals the continuous damage. That's really just Batrider and Ant-Mage, even Visage. I believe that Visage dealt the most damage in this game, to be honest.
I wouldn't be surprised, man. During those fights, just sat in the back, just throwing out nuke after nuke after nuke.
Yeah.
And we got a little bit of support coming down. It's just the G1 courier just hanging around that bottom rune. Rune that hasn't spawned. Well, meanwhile, on the top lane, Imaginary Gaming, they had 4 players together. Don't know if they were expecting that push to come on top, especially now the Fade is inside the jungle. You got 2 players down here on the bottom lane, both Synderen as well as Koitva, and the Nyx as well as the Batrider, respectively.
They're looking to deliver a killing blow now. They're just waiting a little bit, just taking their time. And this is not where I would say that they are, you know, playing cheap or anything, or playing bad by not finishing. This is where they show that they are a patient team that will take the win rather than anything else. This is where you simply don't throw.
Or at least attempt not to throw.
It's pretty hard to throw this game, but they are not doing it at all. They're not giving any chance to IMG. The first game I said it was gonna be important for this series, and they won it badly.
Okay.
So
okay.
yeah,
If they throw this, EG,
it would be
I will
the
never
biggest
say
throw.
like
Yeah.
mousesports can never say anything bad about EG ever again if they actually throw
I don't
that
think
game.
that if you throw this game, then you can't say anything about anyone, because they are ahead by 40,000 experience. I don't think any team has ever lost during these
I'd almost put down the challenge that
circumstances.
mousesports should give their slot to EG at TI3
Radiant's top tower is under
if
attack.
they end up just by pure mistakes through this game.
And bottom lane, we see Black still farming Ancients. He wants to finish that full heart. He has it now. And there's no way, the thing is that there's no way for IMG to pick the fight before he is there. Because still, we haven't gotten anywhere in terms of progression on the Hex on either OD or Tinker. Of course, they're a little bit closer in terms of...
Black.
He's just saying, hi, I'm immortal to you guys.
He's distraction. He's distraction.
They're gonna end up split pushing this to death.
Yep.
That's really mean.
The other lane's already pushed in. They've got 2 sets of Necro units here, so just 1 big set of Necro units. And that tier 3 tower is almost
back
gone.
though. She can take over the big one. She didn't do it, I believe, but
That's true. It's going to die straight away. Her gem's down the ground while Black is continuously taking out that top melee racks. Fortification's the only thing that's going to slow him down. Looks like they managed to find themselves another kill here. So a bit of a lasso with OT's on the sidelines. Triple kill for Pass, and he's going to actually get, well, no Koitva. Finally able to claim one of his own. Venomancer backed into a corner, and with an ultra kill up on Pass, the GG call comes out.
and Synderen dies.
And Synderen dies. So hang on, wait. Synderen's death, right here. There you go. X marks the spot. So mousesports takes game number 1. At least Synderen's happy about his death,
He is
obviously.
happy.
Don't worry, Synderen. We weren't watching you die the entire game. That was fine. That was fine. But that is going to be end of game number 1 here of this best of 3 series. Yes, another death.
I'm not sure who's happier though, if we look at Synderen or if we look at Fata, who didn't die a single time.
17-1-11 is what he finished on. It wasn't even just the fact, like, he died, like...
Oh yeah, Fata is, yeah.
Yeah, but Pass, sorry. You get the one death up on that Visage.
Yeah.
But out of the 36 kills,
Yeah.
he's involved in 28.
That's a good kill-death ratio, man.
That's
And participation.
That's a support doing the work that all great supports are supposed to do.
Yeah. And he really, like, this last pick Visage was great for them. It really worked out just fine by them.
Yeah, so
Radiant's ancient is under attack.
awesome. So we're going to have ourselves a quick break, and we'll be back here in just a couple of moments, because we'll be back here with the second game of this first quarterfinal matchup here. Single elimination bracket. Will Imaginary Gaming be able to pull it back and give us a third game up against mousesports, or will it be over in 2? Stay tuned, you'll find out.
With still on the